on that note, the issue is that they had to recut the episodes. Mm-hmm. If they were
purposefully an hour,
knowing that they were doing a shorter edit, I think the edit would have felt less like it was extremely tight.
Yeah.
And it was noticeable.
Yeah, definitely.
Watching this week. Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And this is So I'm Watching RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15, Episode 11.
2 queens, 1 joke.
The dreaded, in your case, the dreaded comedy challenge.
Watch me not show my face for the entirety of the challenge.
I had to make you. It's very sort of like, look at it. Do you see?
I was listening to it.
You were. There wasn't a colossal failure or flub this time. We didn't have poor Utica. We knew her so well. As mentioned, we are back to the full length. It was very noticeable, specifically in the talking heads.
Well, and I mean, Anitra had like a medical emergency, so who knows how many more of those have happened.
I watched a video. I think it was Drag Detective. There's like a handful. I don't consistently I check them as I am. It's my leisure time.
Yeah.
And I try to also educate myself and stuff. So it was like Drag Detective or Kayla Says or Drag Tea or one of those things. But they compared, because up until season 9, I think they were 45-minute episodes, and then from then on, it was the hour and a half that we are mostly familiar with. And so they picked episodes and they did this like Survivor. Apparently there's like a graph that was found or developed watching Survivor where you can like measure. It's like you can sort of calculate screen time and like predict outcomes and stuff. It's very, very interesting. And they found that where this season suffered, unfortunately, is the queens earlier on, because they just were not getting
enough
the context, the talking heads. We weren't getting a sense of their personality, because I knew within 10 minutes of this episode, I was like, this is the most of Marsha that we have seen.
Well, now, we have been getting talking heads.
It was starting to.
But, yeah, you're right.
And also some of the mini challenges, and I think most notable was we had the judges' deliberations back, which is extremely beneficial. Now I'm starting to understand the Safe Queens lament.
Yeah.
Where they're like, I want to know what the judges say. Yeah, and it's like, so they had the comedy challenge based on the maxi challenge based on the winner of the mini challenge, which the winner was Anitra. It should have been Sasha, but I think so. Well, Anitra's so fucking good.
They kind of all did really great, though, because I loved Selena just kind of like flopping over and around and back and forth. It was really funny.
Anitra assigned the order in which they go, and it was 7, so it was an uneven number, and so someone had to be solo. And that was...
At first it was
Selena, but because she was picked last, or because she got the last bubbly, she got to steal someone. So she smartly stole Mistress. However, I love Mistress.
It did not go great.
Well, Mistress is sort of...
She's floundering a little, in my opinion.
Well, floundering's a big word, but she's teetering a little bit. The best bet is Lucy. However, I'm at a place now where I don't want her to know that.
Yeah, it's the attitude. I
like Lucy a lot. I think she's very talented. I think she's very funny.
I think she should stop taking the bait.
Her type A is really showing.
That's bait, and she keeps taking it, and it's really, really frustrating to me.
You know who was impressive? And I've liked her this whole time, but Lux.
Yeah.
Lux is playing it.
It was impressive.
Lux is savvy.
Yeah.
And she is adaptable.
Yeah.
I was talking about in last week's challenge, the improv, the yes and, but it's like, Lux is capable of being funny and capable of acting and all this stuff, but it's not, I don't know, when she got with Lucy, they really blossomed off of each other. That's where they were the best, is because we were watching a conversation where so many people, like, for instance, Marsha, and they warned about it in, like, especially Ali Wong, but also Ali Wong, also Michelle Visage, where I forget who she was telling to, but she was like, make sure there's not inside jokes. And there's a handful of Marsha's stuff that was a little bit inside joke because her biggest punchline landed on her not being pretty. And literally the only thing the audience knows about her in that moment is that she's pretty.
Yeah.
So it sort of was like, I understand how you got to this place, but that's one of the reasons why comedy, especially something like stand-up, is so difficult.
Yeah.
Because you have to meet the audience where they are. And
because we discussed while we were watching it that you and I could not do a stand-up set together because we go inside so quickly with each other and it just doesn't work.
Because I think I could do a challenge like that with a person, but I would need a Lucy. Like, I think I could luck someone's Lucy.
Fair enough.
Say that 10 times fast. But I think that's where, because it's like there were immediate things for the audience to grab onto. Like, first of all, the whiteness of her teeth. She's got a great set of choppers. Chompers.
That was good.
And then the white jokes, it's like, it is low-hanging fruit, but also if it ain't broke.
Also,
like,
if you sell the low-hanging fruit, it still works, and they were selling it.
And the fatal flaw in Selena and Mistresses was, well, they telegraphed the punchline.
They telegraphed the punchline, and it's like, Mistress should not have picked up at the beginning again. It should have picked up in the middle and taken us to the natural conclusion.
Theirs was like a Rashomon comedy routine where it's like, and now here's a different perspective of the same event.
Yeah. Also, look, I know I'm not the, like, market for these kind of jokes, but, like, figuring out you slept with the same guy because there's still dried cum on the rhinestone that was on his dick that you're wearing as an earring.
It's somehow too broad and too specific.
It's like but it's also, to me, repugnant. Like, why is it still there and you put it on your ear? It's a lot. For me, it's a lot.
The places that it makes you, the audience, go.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you making me do this?
Yeah, why do I have to live with the knowledge of this sexual encounter from two sides?
And then Sasha and Anitra, very middle. There was a lot of... People really go for the pot jokes. And I'm not a narc. Like, I'm not a
narc, but also high people are not funny to sober people.
Yeah.
It does not work for me. Not at all. Because now that I've finally been high, I know that if somebody else in the room was not high, they would have not thought I was funny.
It just, I don't know. It is like a dialect. It's like speaking another language. And then, like, Sasha looked like Ivana.
It was a good look.
It was a very good look. But it wasn't. But I was waiting for it to tie in, and it just sort of, they did land, well, some classic, I think as Ali Wong said, so Michelle's has balls and a penis joke, which I get it. I think it's fine. But also in this, well, and I mean, if anyone's going to get away with it, then I guess it's Sasha. But it's just sort of like, in this day and age, are we really going to, I don't know.
I mean,
it was...
Michelle does have metaphorical balls of steel, but...
Michelle has BDE.
Yeah, I would let Michelle Visage step on my neck, for sure.
Yeah, it was interesting in a very boring way.
Yeah.
Watching it sort of like...
Yeah.
And then a particularly good look from Rue, I think.
Yeah, the Coke tab,
tabs,
necklace or dress. I enjoyed most T.S. Madison's look this episode with the big purple and blue and pink braid. I dug that a real lot.
She's always a lot of fun.
And she was tits out too. Love that.
So the theme this week was Ripper to Shreds.
To shreds, you say?
It was... I've been a little whelmed.
With the runways this season.
I don't know if it's the themes haven't quite been as inspired.
Do you know what it's giving me? It's giving me this most recent season of Great British Bake Off, where I'm like, I feel like you need to re-find your lane for some of this stuff, where it's like they did the Mexico week and we never even watched it, but I saw enough clips that I was like, that was not great. I think we're going really broad with these looks to the point where like one of these was not shredded. And I was just like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, but Mistress, I like the look though.
Me too.
So.
Not on theme, but whatever.
Ripper to shreds. So, okay. I've been a Marsha fan. I've been a Marsha, little bit of a Marsha apologist. I mean, it's seventh place. She goes home this week. I think she's still in the ingenue phase of her life.
Sure.
Like, I think the BFA is dominating because we're always like, we want more. And I think that was coming across as like, put more makeup on your face. And that's not necessarily, certainly not what I was wanting from her.
Yeah, because even in this episode, they were like, more makeup. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't think she needs more makeup.
She's giving standard beauty looks. She needs to drag it up.
Yeah.
She needs to add something to it. Or not. I mean, you can make a career doing anything as long as people like it. And
I'd go see a Marsha show.
I like Marsha.
Yeah.
And that's sort of when people are like, what do you see in her? It's as simple as, I think he's cute. I think she's pretty. And I found them to be charming. Like, I found a lot of what she did to be charming.
I like the shtick of
the
her
Marsha
drag.
Brady.
I like the sort of like just left of center Marsha Brady. I don't know.
But I think we could put a filter over it.
That's fine.
And because I do agree where they were like, I mean, Lucy did do this essentially.
Marsha did it better. I think Marsha did it better.
We'll see.
Also, Lucy's just kind of insufferable now. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of liked it. It's not my favorite, but I liked it. And I thought the one shoe was a good twist.
And she can perform. Yeah. I think,
that was horrible.
Yeah. It's rhinestone. I didn't realize that she had little glittery blood. I think Marsha's in the dawn of her.
Of course, yeah.
This is fantastic.
It is fantastic.
This is one of it wasn't until I saw this look that I was like, we've been lacking.
Yeah.
In some of these runways.
She also did a whole thing about how good her Beyonce was, and girl, it was not. It was just fine, and you should have had a belly. It was not great. It was a whole mess, the whole episode.
Oh, yeah.
This is fantastic, though. Mm-hmm. I definitely agree. I like the concept of it. I like the execution. I like that it's sort of like tea-stained white. It's
and it is ripped.
It is ripped to shreds. Yeah. I guess technically it's a little moth-eaten, but
this is smart of her because
savvy.
She made
Rue cry
right in the feels.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's certainly solid enough. I needed the backstory. I needed to know what it was to feel.
Because otherwise it doesn't really make sense to me.
It just gives kind of like a Mad Max type, but then it's not as rugged. Yeah. It's good.
I do not know the deep magics. I was not there when they were written, so but it's cool. I like it side by side. I think it's cool.
Lux is kind of doing what Diabetti was doing, where we were like, Diabetti might be the first contestant to ever just will the win
into existence.
Like she was just through sheer force of will alone manifesting it.
Yeah. She got pretty far.
I feel weird comparing Lux because Lux isn't having the personality clashes.
Yeah.
But Lux is like reverse engineering this in a way that I have never seen.
Yeah, it is pretty impressive.
Someone excels
it's pretty impressive.
So much at it. Yeah. It's like...
Also, the hair was great. This was a really good, cohesive look, but you're right. I needed to know the backstory. This was pretty great.
So fucking good.
Yeah.
This and Lucy's is like, oh right, we're watching Drag Race.
Yeah.
And not for nothing, she just looks gorgeous.
She looks amazing. Yeah.
They were not kidding when they were like, this is just a TRL VMA look.
It does look like one.
You could have shown me that,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't have been certain that that wasn't one of the girls that was in Destiny's Child that was not Beyonce or Kelly Rowland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Back when there were 5.
yeah. And it just, and actually, like, well, we've already mentioned it like 3 times this season, but much like her daughter, it's giving me the kind of Carrie Colby
Yeah.
hair dress. However,
We
this
do
is
stay.
actually,
Yeah.
yeah.
We stay on the hairdress. We both are hairdress apologists. I liked it a lot.
I love,
This is great, though. I mean, I think it's hideous, but it's great.
Brittany and Justin could never.
No, of course not.
And they did.
Brittany now, maybe. This one's my favorite.
It's one that I've seen.
Well, sure. I like the colors and I like the hair and the sticks.
I got further away from it. Like because that is my sort of critique with Anitra is we get a lot of like bodysuits
that's fair.
and colors and angles and
She's working it.
no, she really is, but she was waxing poetic about the lotus coming through the like murky water, and that's not what I'm getting. I'm like,
That's fine.
I'm getting like a gymnastics like 90s Barbie, which is a thing,
but nicer.
Well, and I don't understand like what is the ear and the like what are the
It's just cool.
It's not it for me.
Maybe it just is the pink and green for me. I just think those
I
colors
also think
are
the
so
green's
good.
not right.
I do.
I will say the green is better than what I initially thought was black.
I thought it was black too.
I am 100% with you. I love the message.
Yes, of course, yes.
And it's not bad at all.
No.
But it doesn't, for me, it didn't fully, fully land.
So we've had some other message dresses, and like the Simone one is the one that will always, in my opinion, be like, it sets such a precedent.
High bar.
And like, this is not, like you said, it is not bad. And it is a lovely sentiment. And we find out in Untucked that Selena's mother has stage 4 cancer. It's a lot and very emotional. But I agree with Ali Wong, where if the whole thing was like the fabric of the
blanket.
Was it a blanket? She called it something. And I don't remember what it was, but it's got an actual cultural name. If the whole dress was made of that, because it almost looked like she's like fleeing in her quince dress.
It was giving me Les Miserables in a way that I know that's not what she was going for. Of course. But there was something that there was for me, the elements weren't in balance.
Yeah. There is, I think, a polishing that needs to happen to Selena. Like, because I think a lot of the concepts are good. But
she's very talented.
Very talented and very funny. And, 100%. But I think there is like a polish that's missing on the whole drag part. And in fairness, it is to shreds. She also, in her comedy, she said, I put on my chanclas and ran down the stairs, and that was great.
So I see what you mean about the being burnt and not shredded, but it's giving me Peggy Sue. What's the one with
Peggy Sue got married?
No, what's the one with Amy Jo Johnson? Susie Q.
Oh, yeah, okay.
It's giving me Susie Q. It's giving me...
It's definitely beautiful. And again, the shape of it is perfect. And she loves that pink color too, and it's great.
So the bottom was Marsha and then Sasha and Anitra. There is no reality where Sasha is in actual danger.
No.
There was a case to be made that because Anitra has she's been in the bottom before, correct?
Yeah, and she, in the Lollapalooza, she lip synced like 40 times.
No, that was,
It was Anitra, yeah.
I agree. I was sort of like, I think we're going to lose Marsha.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not huge. Like, we find the lip syncing to be too subjective.
Yeah.
But even this one, it was really good. Marsha did not embarrass herself.
She pulled it out.
Yeah.
That backwards crab, upside down crab walk, and they were playing off each other too.
That's
in a way that I feel like they had to have talked about it backstage.
I think it's just I think the sportsmanship was there.
Just the energy, yeah.
Because it wasn't as good as Evie and Brooklyn's, but
not as
that
good.
Came to mind.
Yeah,
as we were watching it.
Still good.
And Marsha had really good energy leaving, where she was like, "I feel good about it. I like what I did," and I think she's well aware
of her place in the.
It's like the twins. It's like she's way too
green.
No, well, I mean, she's green, but she's way too accessible.
Oh, for sure.
She is so marketable. Yeah. She is so accessible.
Absolutely.
She will have no...
And she's like a baby, right?
Yeah.
She's young.
She will not have a hard time finding people who want to take her picture and put clothes on her. You know what I mean?
100%, yeah.
So, okay, we've got 6 left. And, I forgot that's what I was going to open with. But I do think it is... I cannot believe they sent Marsha home the week before the Rusical.
Footloose the Rusical.
That, it feels personal.
It does.
But, all right, on that note, I think that's good for this week, and we're going to go. We will hopefully see you back next week. Please like and subscribe. Apparently, the thumbs up does the best. If you want to help support us in the channel, you can head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/watching the show. We also have a Cashapp and a Venmo, and just like and subscribe and share that love.
Yep. That was a lot. Bye.
I wasn't present for the whole thing.
Kind of.